Hello, my name is the new Soups. You can call me Soups, you can call me Ilea. I'm here to start another project vlog, which I am very excited about. I'm going to start the Lacy Loops Tee by Other Loops. Look at this. It's been on my bingo board all year long, and I'm really trying to focus my bingo board projects. So I am so excited, and I'm sorry, I've already cast her on. Would you like to see her? So I've had quite a conundrum, quite an experience over the last few days. I cast this on, so I'm heading to Boston. I'm on my way to Boston right now. I cast this on because I wanted to be able to have like a bigger project than socks to work on when I was hanging out in Boston. And I cast this on, and then I went to the airport and my flight was so delayed that I was at the airport. I was at the airport for 6 hours yesterday before I left, and I'm here in this hotel room. But all of that time allowed me to finish all of the short rows on the back panel. So I'm done with the short rows, and it should be kind of straightforward now. I'm knitting this with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color, Lemon Curd. I think the color is Lemon Curd. And I'm holding it double, so I'm just going from the outside and the inside of the cake. And this is how far I am. It's really pretty. It's so pretty. Let me not say really pretty, let me say it is just so beautiful. It looks so, I hope you can kind of see, like, it's just really pretty. The fabric is working up so nice. I have known that I've liked working with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, and I'm just delighted. It's so lightweight. It's so, I don't know, I just really like it. It's a little bit splitty, especially held double. Like I can't really zone out and knit because I will drop one of the strands and have to go back and pick it up. And what else? Is there anything else really weird? There's a ton of short rows. Like you cast on like 100 and some stitches, and then, I mean, all of this is short rows, so that did take me a while. These eyelets are so cute. I think that they're so cute. They're fun to work, but it's a lot of knit two together after yarn over, so it does take a little bit more focus, but that's okay. I haven't knit a textured knit in a long time, it feels, probably since I finished the baguette. So it's kind of fun to have something that requires a little bit more focus. And yeah, that's how she's going. So I'm going to cast on something else just to have two projects in the rotation for my Boston travels, and I will check in after I do a little bit more work on this, maybe when I finish the back panel. I think I can finish the back panel, but this cable that I brought, this is the longest cable that I brought. So I am gonna be in a pickle if I find myself needing to join in the round, but that might be extremely like I might not get there. I never really know how much knitting I'm going to do on vacation. I just know I'm going to have a significant amount of downtime, but maybe I'll work on one of my other projects. So that's what's going on. I will keep you posted as I make progress on this. Oh, one more thing, my gauge swatch. I did do a gauge swatch, and I washed it and blocked it, and I didn't measure it post washing, but it didn't like change that much, and I feel confident that I'm fine. I'm knitting a size small, and my gauge was, I'll have to look up, I took a note, here it is, I'll put it over here, but it was close enough to the original, like the recommended gauge, and there's 10 inches, about 10 or 11 inches of positive ease recommended for the size that I'm making, so I'm not that worried about how off my gauge is if it's only off by a little bit. I'm knitting this on a US 6, which is a 4mm needle, and it's beautiful. It's working out really nicely. I'm really enjoying it. I will keep you posted. Okay, hello. I'm back from Boston. I did do some knitting in the car, so I finished the back panel on this project. Wait, maybe I'll show you the front of it. My cable is too short. Okay, so there's the back panel. That's all done, and I am just about to get ready to pick up for the shoulders, and I'm gonna try a new technique where you pick up all of the pieces on one cable, so I don't have to like take things on and off the cable. We're gonna see how that works out, because I also don't have a very long cable. Like this one's short. I don't know what that is, but not very long. And then the next one I have is 22 inches, I think, which is not that much longer because my long cable is on another project right now. But anyway, that's what I'm going to try. I finished one ball of yarn so far. This is where that one ran out, and I attached the new one, so I'm just like an inch and a half or so with a new ball of yarn. It's going really well. I just finished the underarm like increases, and now I'm ready to pick up for the shoulder. So that's what I'm going to do. See you soon. It's the next day, even though I seem to have not moved from the spot. Okay, first of all, picking up for the shoulders while on the same cable is magic.
The last take we did this, I was just like heavily breathing the whole time. It was horrible.
Okay, it's the next night, even though I'm sitting in the exact same spot with the exact same lighting situation. First of all, so I'm refilming it, but I've been crying laughing for the last 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm this far. Imagine if my cable was longer and you'd be able to see this without it being all bunched up. My cable is just too short, okay? I'm sorry. But it's all on one, and I didn't have to use barber cord at all, which was amazing. And today I was working on this. I was showing a movie at work, and I was in the projection room, and I got to, like, I finished the left shoulder, and then I picked up for the right shoulder without ever needing barber cord. So that felt pretty amazing. So right now I've joined in the front, and now I'm working down the front panel so that I can eventually join in the round. I am really enjoying it. It's going really well. I think the pattern is nice and clear. I haven't had any issues with the pattern. All my counts are turning out perfectly. I love it. Here's this beautiful shoulder pickup. Like, I think it's just gonna look, hopefully you saw that. I just think it's gonna look really nice. I'm really pleased with it, and I think I'm gonna he's like holding his breath to try not to
Trying, I'm so scared.
breathe too loud. I think I bought way too much yarn for this project. I feel like I could make this again with the yarn I bought. We'll see once I like really get into it, but I think I bought 8 balls of yarn, and I'm like 1.5 in. So I don't really know what happened with the math there. Anyway, that's how it's going. It's going well, and I really like it.
Good work.
Thanks.
Hello, it's been a while, but I've made really good progress on this. I am sick again. I fear that I film a lot of my clips when I'm sick, and it's just because I have a lot of downtime, so sorry about that. Not as sick as I have been in the past, but do you like my bag? Look how cute that is. All right, that's been my project bag for this project. Okay, here's the update. I've done quite a bit of work on the body, as you can see. Wait, that's the back. Would you like to see the front? I've done quite a bit of work on the body. That's where we are right now. I haven't tried it on yet. I'm really just going exactly by the pattern. Whatever the pattern says, that's what I'm doing. I will try it on. I think I'll try it on just because I need the same needle tips for the sleeve, but I don't have to. I could leave the cable on here and just get a smaller cable for the sleeve. So maybe I'll never try it on until it's done. I don't know. I just don't feel like putting it on barber cord because I haven't this whole time, and I want to be, whatever. I don't want to put it on barber cord, okay? I think I just finished my 4th ball of yarn. Here's I'm like 4 stitches from the end of the row, and that's how much I have left. That's fun. It's also an annoying row to attach new yarn on, so that's double fun, but whatever. It's not a big deal. So I think what's happening is you start the ribbing after one of these purl rows, these like garter stitch rows, and right now I'm right before the eyelet row, so I'm going to do the eyelets and then do right after, you know, these 3 rows of garter stitch, 6 rows of garter stitch, whatever. Then you size down and do the ribbing portion, and it's a long portion of ribbing. So that's what's next for me. However, since I just finished a ball of yarn, I'm going to do the collar because why not? So I'm going to pick up for the collar right now. That's my goal today. It's a full needle size. Let's see, no, it's a full millimeter. So the body I'm doing in 4mm, and then I'm doing the body in a 4mm needle, and then the neck and the ribbing is in a 3.5. Not a full millimeter, a full 1/2 millimeter. Anyway, it's a size US 6 and a size US 4. Does that make sense? This part is in a 3.5mm, which is a US 4. Does that sound right? I'll confirm with a pattern before I continue. Whatever. Okay, so that's what I'm doing next is the collar. You pick up a lot of stitches for the collar. It's 1-to-1. That seems like a lot, doesn't it? But like I said, I'm gonna follow the pattern. And sorry, should I put this down and stop like waving it around in your face? So I'm gonna do the collar, then maybe what I'll do, well, it actually doesn't matter. I could just finish the body right now because I know I'm just gonna go a little bit further, finish those garter stitch rows, and then do the ribbing, and then be done. And then I might as well do the sleeves after that, because I know, because you have to end after a certain point of the repeats, I know I'm not going to do another set of the repeat. Does that make sense? So I know I'm going to stop there, and then if it ends up being like shorter than I want, I imagine I could just extend the ribbing a little bit. That's kind of my thought. And then I'm going to do the sleeves, and then she'll be done. And then I'll get to end on the sleeves, which I haven't done. Have I ever done that? I usually end on the body because I want the sleeves to, whatever, you know, when you pick up for the armhole, it like changes kind of how the body is laying, but I'm not going to do that this time. Okay. If I ever get defensive, I'm getting defensive at myself and at imagined comments from people. It's all in my head. So that's the update that I have for you today. Did I say I finished 4 balls of yarn? I just wound my 5th ball. I started with 8 balls, so I'm definitely not going to need another 4 for the rest of it. I did some pretty bad math when I ordered the yarn. So I'll have some leftover butter yellow pure silk, and maybe I'll make a little something with it. A little summery, lacy something. I know I could make bandanas. I just don't really wear bandanas. I do sometimes when I'm feeling particularly cottagecore, which is not that often. Look what I'm wearing right now, by the way. Do you like my shirt? It says, it's reversed on my screen. It says, give me attention. That's my update. Hopefully I'll see you in a few hours when the collar is done. Oh, I got a droplet on my shirt. How embarrassing. Okay, I finished the collar. Let me hold it up, show you what we're looking at. There she is, beautiful. The pattern said to pick up like 110 stitches, which they said was a pick up a stitch in every stitch, which is more than I like to do in the collars I've done. So I just did what my instinct said to do, which was pick up 1-to-1 along these flat parts. So this part and like the back of the cast on edge here. And then I did 2 out of 3 for the rest of the edges. And that got me to 88. So I just knit that and I think it looks okay. I'm like kind of concerned about my Italian bind off. I feel like I did not do it particularly well, or I'm kind of thinking that when it's around my neck, the rest of it will kind of stretch out and not look like it's flaring. I hope. I mean, if it does end up looking awful later, I suppose I can redo it. But that's the thing that's kind of concerning me right now. I don't know. There's only one way to find out, which is to block it and see if it still looks bad. Also, let me just expose an error that I made. Oh, one thought real quick before the error. Every time I do anything, as soon as it's done, I'm like, oh my God, it's bad. I did a bad job. And then later,
it's fine. So that's why I'm trying to be optimistic about this collar. Like maybe I feel bad about it right now, but once it's like blocked and worn a little bit, then I'll be like, oh, it's fine. Okay, back to my error. It had 2 rows of double knitting, or 4 rows of double knitting, I guess, before you get to the bind off. And then when I started doing the bind off, I just started, I don't know if you can really see, but like this 1.5 inches just did it wrong. Just did it completely wrong. So it doesn't look right. But is that where I did it? No, wait, I'm lying. That part just looks bad for no reason. Oh, it's this part. That part I did bad. I just was like off 1 stitch. Whatever. I'm the only one who's ever going to know that happened, but it did happen. I don't know why it looks wrong over here. Who cares? Again, if I get to a point where it is bothering me, I can always redo it. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I finished that. Now I'm back to working on the body. I've reattached and I've done a few rows. I only have 4 more rows before we're ready to do the ribbing. And as I was working on this, I thought suddenly, oh no, it's too long. It's of course impossible to tell because I still have the cable in here. But I'm going off of the measurement that it says. It says to go from cast on edge to the back edge to the bottom edge, 42 centimeters. I was at 40 centimeters. I'm gonna go over it just a little bit with the last few rows of garter stitch, but I'm following the pattern. And I am using the recommended yarn. And my gauge, I should take a gauge swatch right now. Did I already say this? The gauge swatch was in stockinette, and this is not in stockinette. So I don't know how much me taking gauge right now will really mean anything, because stockinette does not really appear in this. Did that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to, I don't know, get to the next section. I'll probably start the ribbing. It just goes down a needle size or whatever I said earlier. And I think it's down 2 needle sizes. I'll do the ribbing. I will probably have to put this on barber cord and try it on, so I know generally how long it's supposed to be. Fine, I'll put it on barber cord and then I'll do the sleeves. So there's your update. That's how far we got today. Feeling pretty good. Again, I have no idea of what it will actually look like because I haven't tried it on. What can you do? Hello, let's check in. I'm still sick, so any awkward edits are because I'm coughing. I just finished another ball of yarn. Okay, so I did finish whatever I was talking about before, where I was like, I have to get to 42 centimeters. I did do that. And I ended the repeat in the appropriate spot, and I was right around 42. Like, I feel like it's kind of hard to measure something like this, but I measured it, and it was close enough to 42 that I said, let's go. Okay, so that was great. Oh yeah, I talked about the collar. The collar's done. So I just finished what I think is my 5th ball of yarn. I need to go up and, like, look at my other ones and see if I have 3 left. Also, am I full of it? This whole time I was like, I have way too much yarn. But if this was my 5th ball, I have 3 left. And I still have probably twice as much ribbing as I've done. So another 1.5 inches. And then the bind off and everything. And then I have the 2 sleeves. I might be fine. Which would make sense because I did try to purchase the correct amount of yarn initially. But sorry if I yapped this whole time about having way too much, and then it turns out I have an appropriate amount. All right, so this is how she is so far, looking good. The ribbing calls for 8 centimeters of ribbing, which is 3 inches. Oh, I don't know.
I know I'm not at 8 centimeters yet. So I'm going to do a little bit more, but maybe when I go up to check on how many balls of yarn I have left, I'll put this on some barber cord and just put it on real fast and see how it's looking. But so far I'm just following it exactly to pattern. So that's my update. Feeling good, just plugging away. I've done all of this ribbing today in the car and watching World Cup. So I am, whatever, I'm that far. I have a little bit more to go, but it's looking good. This part is so pretty down here because you start with like, you have all these eyelets and then the eyelets line up with the purl rows. I just think that looks so cute. I love it. And then I assume you'll do like the inverse when you get to the end of that section. So that's my update. I'm gonna go count how many balls of yarn I have left. I did just confirm that I have 3 more balls of yarn. So that's how much I have left. Okay. Oh my god, it looks so good. Oh, okay. I am glad that I stopped the repeats. I'm glad that I followed the pattern. I'm glad I stopped the repeats where I did. I will do, oh, my fly is unzipped. Oh my god, how embarrassing. Okay, I am glad. Was that like that? Did you see that before? Oh, how will I recover from this? Okay, I'm glad I followed the pattern. I'm gonna like do this to also what the pattern says, which is 8 centimeters. And then we're gonna do the sleeves. Also, this is just like regular like knit bind off, which my knit bind off is always really tight. So I might need to do something. I might need to think about how I'm doing that bind off. Here's how the collar looks when it's on, which is kind of how I wanted it to look. Here's how the back looks. Cute. All right, well, I'm good. I'm glad I tried it on. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna do a little bit more of this ribbing, but I think we're pretty close to the end here. And then sleeves, and then that's it. It's done. Welcome to me using a real microphone this time. Wow. The quality of this vlog has just gone up by 10 points. Hi. I finished the ribbing on the bottom here. It took me so long. It was supposed to be 8 centimeters of ribbing, and I did just under that because I was getting kind of tired of it, but I still really wanted this like long section of ribbing. I feel like that's a key feature of the shirt. So I did it. Probably with blocking, it will become 8 centimeters, right? But I think it's so cute. I love it. And then it said to do a knit bind off, which I am scared of doing a knit bind off because you go back to doing just like just garter stitch at the end. You don't need to do Italian bind off or some kind of like ribbing, stretchy ribbing bind off. It was just a regular knit bind off, which I am terrified by. By the way, I apologize for the clearing of my throat and any coughing that you hear. On top of coming off of a cold, we also have the worst air quality currently in Michigan that I've ever experienced. So like it's 500 today at the top of the scale, and that is the top of the scale. There's no more scale to go. So it could be worse than 500. That's just like where it taps out. Anyway, all that to say that I might be clearing my throat and grunting a lot. Anyway, asked for a knit bind off, and I have a hard time with knit bind off. I feel like it always ends up, for me, being really tight, like no matter how, or uneven. It's either tight because I'm knitting it at my usual tension, or it's uneven because I am trying to knit it looser. So what I did this time was I took a crochet hook and I did a crochet bind off, which as far as I can tell is exactly the same as the knit bind off. You just use a crochet hook instead. And I have a lot of crochet experience. So this just felt like going home. It was like a little bit annoying because a crochet tip of its head is much more rounded than a needle is. So you kind of had to like finagle it every time you were going to go into a stitch. However, this created such an even and beautiful knit, not knit bind off that still has like enough give that I am like perfectly happy with how that ended up binding off. I used the same millimeter size. This is a 3.5 millimeter, which is what I was using for this last few stitches, last few rows, and I'm very pleased with it. I think it turned out like exactly how I wanted it to, and wait, and it looks nice. Oh, let me not show you the part where I haven't weaved in my ends, but like it looks nice. Very even. So there's my life hack for me to getting a nice even bind off is using a crochet hook. Wow, it worked so well. Okay, so I did all that, blah, blah, blah. It's off the needles now. She's free. At least she's free for the body. Then I picked up for the sleeves. I did this yesterday and the day before. Here's my current conundrum. How long do I make the sleeves? I think I want them to kind of be right at my elbow, which I think with this and the extra 1/2 inch of the garter stitch edge, I think that's going to get me there. The pattern says to go for 13 centimeters before you do that little bind off edge thing. I'm currently at 10 centimeter, 9.5 centimeters, 9.5, 10, depending on how much this yarn relaxes. And if I did another repeat of the pattern, this is kind of the same issue I was having for the bottom. If I did another repeat of the pattern, it would add 5.5 more centimeters. So then I would go over 13 centimeters. So I think what I'm going to do is do a mid-project block. My friend E said, you have to do a mid-project block, and they're always right. But I don't want to because I just want to keep working on this. However, it will give me a lot of information about how the rest of the drape is going to look and how long I'm going to want the sleeves to be. So fine. I'm going away this weekend, so I'm going to block it right now and then just let it dry over the weekend. And then when I come back, then I will know for sure that I'm probably just going to stop here. Like I could just finish this sleeve and decide I'm done, and that would be the end of it. I don't think it's going to be too short, but I'm going to do my due diligence. You know what I should have been doing for this project is one of those videos where I film every time I finish a ball of yarn. I didn't do that at all. So, but it would have been cool because each ball of yarn is only 50 grams, so I would have made so many clips, double clips that I would have normally. Okay, sorry, I got distracted thinking about that. The only reason I'm like, oh, I should do one more repeat is because the project photos, like the sample photos, have one more repeat. And I wanted to make it exactly like the project photo. But if that's going to make the sleeves too long on me, then I don't want to do it. And I think that this is going to relax significantly. Let me put it on so you can like get an idea of what I'm yammering about. So this is what we're looking at right now. And see, this is, and now I put it back on and I'm back to not knowing how long I want that sleeve to be. Because maybe I want it a little longer. But maybe after blocking, it will relax enough that it'll be at the length that I want. But that's what she looks like. And I think this is going to be a pretty dramatic blocking experience, like especially down here with the ribbing. I just think it's going to relax so much. I hope so. Relax so much and look so beautiful. So fine, I'll do it. Sometimes when you're knitting, you have to do things that you don't want to do, okay? And that's just the way it goes. Doesn't it look so good, though? This over the shoulder detail, and this is so lumpy. I just want to finish the sleeve so that it doesn't look so lumpy. But I really like it. I think it's going to be lovely. It's also very lightweight. How many grams am I into this now? I think the whole thing will be like 350 grams ish at the end, if I'm doing my math correctly. It feels very, very lightweight. I feel very comfortable, and I wanted to be able to wear it this weekend, but obviously I have to block it now and set all my progress back a whole weekend. But it's fine. I cast on a new project, so not to worry. I will not be bored. Okay, so that's the update here. I'm going to go block her and let her dry, and I will check in with you after the weekend. It's Tuesday, so the weekend is over. This is fully dry. Oh, you can already see. You can already see how nice how nice the drape is now. Okay. Okay, fine. You were right. You were right. I should have blocked it. I should block it, and I did, okay? Okay, you got me. Oh, wow. You can really see what a... This is all yarn, okay? Okay, I'm getting defensive, and it doesn't matter. Here's the drape. Here's the shirt. And I think my instinct was right. I'm just going to do like the last few rows of garter stitch on the sleeve here and then call that good. I feel like that's a good sleeve length that hits my elbow. I think it looks really cute. You can still see my elbow in the back, but actually if I add those few more rows of garter stitch, wow, it looks so good. It's a little lumpy back here from laying on the blocking mat. Wow. Wow, do you love this? Because I love it. I'm motivated now to like sit down and finish it. Oh wow, it looks so good. Oh my god. Hey, everybody should make this shirt. Have you thought about making this shirt? This is the Lacey Loop Tee by Other Loops, and you too should make it. Look at that. Hello. Also, look how nice the ribbing turned out after blocking. Wow, this is great. Okay. So now that I know all of that information, I'm going to finish the sleeve, do the sleeve, weave in my ends, and then we'll do our final check-in. I don't think you'll see me again before everything is done, but I just feel really good about how this looks now. So, okay, let's lock in, and I will see you hopefully in just a day or two, okay? That's my goal. Okay, this is embarrassing, but I recorded this whole thing and the mic didn't even pick up anything. So I'm going to record it again. Hey, the Lacey Loop Tee is done, and she's beautiful, and I love everything about her. Look at this. Look at the drape. Look at the fit. Look at the sleeves. It's perfect. Is this the best thing I've ever created? Sorry. I know I look at my watch a lot, and it's because that's how I know what you're seeing. I feel like it's really irritating. Hopefully it's just irritating to me and not to you. Probably more irritating than I talk about it. The Lacey Loop Tee. She's so pretty. Also feels like very lightweight. I'm outside. It is pretty warm out here, but I feel comfortable. It's also because it's full of holes, so a lot of air goes through this, but it just like, it feels lovely. It feels airy and light. This is 2 strands of pure silk, which is just, it turned out really nice. Also, it just feels really squishy. Also, the texture of it is just delightful. I love it. I really enjoyed the fabric that this yarn made together. Holding 2 strands of the pure silk together is just a little bit irritating because it's splitty, and splitty doubled because you have 2 strands of it, but I wasn't, like, it's worth it. It's worth it for what you get in the end. This really transformed with blocking. I think I showed you some footage of what it looked like before blocking, but after, just the way that it hangs and feels is amazing. I love the flow. I did almost everything exactly to pattern. There were a few like minor discrepancies, but I didn't change anything. I didn't change the length or any of that. The only thing that is different is that in the sample photos, the sleeve is a little bit longer by 1 repeat of the pattern. But I'm happy with the sleeve length that I achieved on this one. So I think it's good. I love it. I did have plenty of yarn. I have a ball and a half left, so that's, I don't know, maybe 75 grams left over. The balls were in 50-gram balls. And I know I'm getting like a sense for how much yarn you need for a full body project. And I also know why I ended up with a little bit extra. It was just some bad math on my part. So whatever. Every time I do anything, I learn a little bit more, and the next time hopefully I'm smarter. That's the idea with learning. I have
So I have that much yarn left over, and then I also have some of the same yarn but in a different color, and it's gray. I don't love yellow and gray together, but maybe I can find like some cute pattern to use up both of those, or I'll just give it away to somebody who would like it more than I do. Loved the pattern. I found it really intuitive. There were only a few points that I had to like really use my entire brain and think about, but everything's in there. You just have to read it, which of course I'm not always the best at making sure that I'm reading everything that I should be, but it obviously turned out beautiful. I don't think I had any like real problems with the pattern or anything. Yeah. So that's it. That's the update. This is the Lacy Loop Tea by Other Loops. Thank you so much for watching another project vlog. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, maybe leave a like, leave a comment. I would love to hear what you think, if you've made this shirt or if you've made other patterns by this designer, or what your plans are for the future, for the next few months of summer or heading into fall. Maybe you're well on your way into fall projects. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe if you want to see more of these type of videos. I've also been thinking about doing maybe like podcast style, where I just talk about everything that I'm working on this month, because I work on a lot of things that I don't make project vlog videos for, but would still be fun to talk about. I love to talk about what I'm knitting. So all that to say, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in another video. Goodbye. Oh, you want to see my nails too? Look at this. I did some fun nails. Okay.